You guys see my mug on here way too often. I got my man Kenny Stu to put on a clinic for y'all today.
What's up, guys? We're talking socket welds. Something that schools don't teach. We're gonna talk about fitting them, welding them, cutting them. Let's check them out.
Oh, hey, Miggy.
Hey, Miggy. Hey, Miggy.
You wanna learn how to weld? I linked up with my man Kenny at the Ultimate Demo Tour. Everyone's welding. We got all the machines out here.
Stick, MIG, TIG. Everyone's coming out well. It's a great time.
Arcs and sparks everywhere. But today we're doing a little bit of TIG welding on stuff they didn't really teach in welding school. I didn't learn how to weld a socket weld, much less fix one.
I didn't either. And it's something very common you're gonna run into the field, oil and gas, chemical refinery. It's something we run into a lot, right? So we're gonna talk about how to probably fit one up, how to cut one out if you have to make a repair. It happens a lot, right? Mistakes in this industry are inevitable, and one thing that you're gonna have mistakes with are socket welds. So we're gonna talk about that.
This socket weld I did about a year ago, so it's nice and rusty for you. We're gonna have to clean it up. We're gonna have to use a Metabo to get through that weld toe. We're gonna end up fitting and re-welding a whole nother one.
Yep, and all you need for this really is a wire wheel, a Metabo, and a hammer, because you're gonna have to knock this thing out, believe it or not. So we're gonna talk about it.
Oh yeah.
All right, so look, check it out. You got your socket weld, you got the outside of your fitting, and you have your pipe, right? Let's say this one's already welded and we gotta go ahead and cut this out. We're gonna take our Metabo and we're gonna basically follow the line of the fitting. That's where we want our cut to be made, okay? The idea is whenever you have a socket weld fit into your fitting, the only weldment that's on the actual fitting in the pipe itself is just on the outside. It's just a fillet weld. So hypothetically, if we cut just the fillet weld out to the pipe against the fitting, this thing is just gonna slide out. There's nothing else holding it together. First thing I'm gonna do is wire weld it so I can really see my line, okay? Of course, eyeballs. All right, so this is the line I'm talking about, at the very edge of the fitting. This is where I want my Metabo blade, and I wanna actually cut through, and I can just use this line to keep a straight cut. Before I get cutting, I wanna make sure everyone knows it's very important to not actually cut through the pipe. So you can gauge with your wheel to see how far you are in. You wanna try to not cut completely through this pipe, okay? With that being said, let's get into it. So now that we have a pretty decent line around it, we're gonna take our hammer and sort of just start beating on it, see if we can actually get it to come out a little bit. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Just like that. That's exactly what you want. If you cut all the way through the pipe, you're gonna be fighting it like hell trying to get that little piece of pipe that's stuck inside the fitting out. Just so you guys can kind of see, this is what we want. So now that we got our pipe cut out, right, we're gonna talk about fitting up our next coupon or whatever we're gonna put in here. Whenever you're welding socket welds, it is always crucial that you have an expansion gap. And the expansion gap is just a gap on the inside of your fitting for expansion for hot and cold. Whenever you go to fit your pipe in, you go all the way to the end. You let it butt up at the end. Take yourself a Sharpie and mark a line all the way around the pipe. Really just the top is fine. This line is letting you know you're butted all the way up. So if you tilt back, you can see your 1/8 at the top. What we would do is we would tack the top. Once there's a tack, we're gonna rock it up, and that's gonna give us about a 1/8 expansion all the way around. And if they are x-raying your socket welds, they can see if you have that expansion gap in there. If they see that you don't have it, it's a cutout, okay? Save yourself some time. Use this little line method. It takes 2 seconds. All you need is a Sharpie. Well, now that we know where our expansion gap line is, I'm just gonna go ahead and tack at the top and rock it up.
How do you know that's an 1/8?
I know an 1/8, buddy. Okay, that's about an 1/8.
Put the wire on it.
Look at that. I'm good.
Every time.
I'm good, doctor. All right, now that we have our tack at the top, I'm gonna go ahead and rock this thing up. That's it right there. Hey, Dill.
Need a fitter.
Same thing with the sides. I'm just using that line to kind of match around the sides. I like her about right there. I'm gonna tack this side first. Look, that was quick and dirty. You definitely want to make sure that you're using your squares and levels whenever you're fitting this up. Make sure you're plumb level and square before you start welding the root. All right, cool. So we got our 4 tacks in it. We're gonna go ahead and run the root. Just to let you guys know, this is a fillet weld, okay? And these do get x-rayed, so you want to make sure no matter what, you're clean. Everything that we weld, we want to make sure at the end of the day that it's plumb level and square. You run your heat in different directions. In this case, we're not really able to spin this or anything like that. And I really would just like to weld it from bottom to top, but what's gonna happen? I'm gonna weld it from bottom to top, and this thing's gonna draw up. What should we do, Austin? Should we let it draw and just weld it, or should we weld it in the 4 quarters to keep it?
You gotta at least put the root in and a quarter it.
You're right, you're right. All right, so to my 4 quarters, I'm gonna run from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. I'm just spreading the metal out, okay? And I'm not running downhill. You don't TIG weld downhill.
Now I know I've said this a lot on the channel before, but quartering out your welds on your root pass is very, very important if you're able to do so. First of all, you really want to get that puddle down as deep as possible into a socket weld when you're doing the root pass, but also taking your time to do a quarter at a time will make sure that this root pass keeps everything square from the fitting that you just did. If you weld it hard from bottom to top or one direction, you're likely going to end up pulling it. So putting the root pass at least is always good practice before you start welding it all the way around or in position.
This may be a little taboo, but I'm a firm believer of clean every pass. So even with TIG, I make sure to wire wheel it.
Hey, can you tell him to give it a Jimmy?
Give it a Jimmy?
Yeah, get it? Jimmy Buffett.
Give it a Jimmy, you know? Jimmy Buffett. A little wire wheel never hurt nobody. Hey, come check me out.
All right. The old root pass is in there now. Now, I would say most welders that never welded a socket weld, they don't know when to stop.
Yep.
What do you look for whenever you're looking to stop?
Man, truly, I don't even know when to stop.
Yeah?
No.
Hey, a little bit more is okay. It's not enough that's the problem.
Yeah, I agree. Typically, I'll run like a root pass, depending on what size pipe it is, I'll throw more or less. But I'll typically run anywhere from 2 to 3 passes on it, depending on the pipe. But I definitely want to make sure that there's not a concave in my bead itself. I kind of want it to be more of like a
Convex.
convex. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. So.
Flux is going to be okay.
Sure.
But a little convex gives you that little reassurance.
Right.
The biggest thing is you don't want sharp edges on the side and no concavity.
Sure.
There's been a few times in my career when I've looked at a socket weld and I thought, that looks really nice, and then the QC come over and just give it a little mark, says, hey, put another pass on it, that's not enough weld. And that's where it gets a little tricky on these socket welds, is just understanding the difference between a convex, a concave fillet weld, and even just a flush. We're really shooting for a flush. If it's a little bit convex, that's usually not too big of an issue. It's the concave socket welds that they're really not looking for. But at the end of the day, take a look at the print and see what it's calling for.
You got enough on it there?
I'd say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I think this is honestly a really good comparison. The one up here, it might be, like if I wanted to QC that, I probably could use just a smidge more,
Right.
you know?
Sort of in the middle a little bit, like the concave.
You got a good convex weld. This one might be a hair concave. So I think these are really good examples of what you guys need to be looking at when you're trying to find that happy medium and building your socket welds.
Sure.
Not to mention a 2G weld's different than a 5G.
That's exactly what I was wanting to talk about, was the position that you weld it in. You're going to get a different profile every time, right?
Right.
If I was rolling this, I'd have a lot more consistency, but the reality is a lot of the times when you're in the field and you're up in the rack, I mean, you're welding exactly how it's sitting, so you got to make do with what you got.
The socket weld is an easy weld to make, but it's intimidating to someone who's never done it before.
And they're my favorite too. I look forward to making socket welds anytime I
If
can.
they're like, we got nothing but socket welds for a few weeks, you're like, easy money,
They'll
babe.
be like, hey, go ahead and build this line. I'm like, okay, well, if we can order socket welds, let's order socket welds. It'll be so much faster, more fun for me. So, yeah.
Hey, tell people where to find you, man.
Man, Kenny Stu on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm trying to make YouTube videos now. I'm trying to really expand my reach because most people just know me from, especially with and the Welded Welders Club. Join the Welded Welders Club. If you don't know about it,
You gotta look it up.
Yeah,
Look it up.